In exactly 1 week, I will be in Colorado with a bunch of other YouTubers celebrating All-Star festivities and watching Shohei Ohtani live in the flesh in the 2021 Home Run Derby. I could not be more excited. I haven't been able to vlog in almost a year and a half, so if you want to see that, don't forget to hit subscribe. It's going to be a banger video. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today, so we're not going to waste any time with an intro. Just a reminder to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you want to save 20 bucks off your entire order if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon. Now, before we show the highlights, I do want to show you guys the AL and the NL starters as well as reserves for the 2021 All-Star Game, and I'm sure that a lot of people in the comment section down below are going to be upset that maybe their favorite player was snubbed. For one example, Max Scherzer, I have no idea how he's not an All-Star. He has a 2.19 ERA or something crazy like that, and he's Max freaking Scherzer. Also, Bryce Harper not being an All-Star, that's a little bit suspect. So let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think is the biggest snub in the AL as well as the NL? But all I really have to say, my friend Joey Gallo made it. That makes me so happy. And also, Shohei Ohtani became the first player in Major League Baseball history. Babe Ruth didn't do this. He is an all-star hitter, as voted in by the fans, and then the players and coaches selected him as an all-star pitcher. The first ever to be voted in as both a hitter and a pitcher. Just insanity what Shohei is doing. Let's talk about the three walk-off W's from yesterday. We have the Braves, the Rockies, and the Angels all coming away in walk-off fashion. The Braves were facing the Miami Marlins, and Ronald Acuna Jr. might be the coolest player in all of baseball just in terms of swag. I know a lot of people don't like me using the word swag, but that's exactly what he has. Then the Marlins storm back. You have Adam Duvall and Jesus Aguilar making it 7-3, but then an implosion happens. A fireworks show for Atlanta occurs as the Braves score 4 in the 9th inning to tie it up, and then pinch hitter Max Fried, their starting pitcher, he walks it off with a single in the 10th inning. So the Braves are now just 3.5 games back of first place. Who would have thought? I mean, I would have, considering I picked them to win the division. Trevor Story, yes, he is having a down season. I'm going to put that in air quotations because he is still really good, but now he's about to get hot. So he's been really good over the last week, and so has Harrison Bader. And in his last 76 games, Harrison Bader has a 112 OPS plus. If he can keep that up, he is going to be a very hot commodity in the trade market because the Cardinals, they usually like to flip their outfielders, as evident by Adolis Garcia and Randy Arozarena, but we won't talk about that. German Marquez was on his game yesterday for the Rockies. He had 11 strikeouts in 6 innings, and in the middle of this performance, he was alerted that he will be making the 2021 NL All-Star roster. I could not be happier for him. Trevor Story, he ties it up with a sacrifice fly, and this allows Diaz to get his second walk-off of the series for the Colorado Rockies as they escape with a 3-2 victory. And then last but not least, in terms of walk-offs, we have All-Star, this just sounds so right, All-Star first baseman Jared Walsh coming in huge with an RBI double, and then Phil Gosselin drives in Jared Walsh. I mean, what haven't we said about Shohei? We're pretty much on the borderline of being a fanboy. Like, we're not Akil Baddoo levels just yet or Grady Sizemore levels, but Shohei Ohtani goes 460 to dead center on an off-speed pitch. He ties Hideki Matsui for the most home runs by a Japanese player in a single season with 31, and he still has 80 games left to go. Rendon hits a home run of his own, but unfortunately, he does have to come out with an injury. And also, this makes me happy. All-Star Cedric Mullins, yes! And that just opens the door for the Angels to walk it off, and that's exactly what happens as Lagares on another double. He has been very good the last week, just driving in runs. The Angels, the Rockies, and the Braves are the three walk-offs from yesterday, so they had a little bit of extra fireworks on 4th of July. All right, let's talk about the three powerhouses in the NL West, the Dodgers, Giants, and Padres. Let's talk about the Dodgers first and foremost because they were facing off against the Nationals in Washington, D.C. on July 4th. We all know that Trevor Bauer was supposed to start that day, but of course, he is on administrative leave, so he was not going to start that game regardless. The Nationals, they score in the first inning, and that was about it, and I think that upset the Dodgers because you have Matt Beatty going the other way for a home run, and then Albert Pujols drives in an RBI, and then Max Muncy drives in a run as well. And then Muncy, he owes Gerardo Parra dinner for the next month because what was this route? I have no idea why Parra was in center field. If you're a Nationals fan, please let me know because maybe it was a double switch. Robles catches that 10 times out of 10. Max Muncy, he ups his OPS plus to 171. I mean, he's been the National League's best first baseman. I love Freddie Freeman, but he's number 2. Buster Posey got the scoring started in the first few innings, and then you have Ruff and Slater making it 3-0. This home run from Austin Slater was hit 460 467. Let's just round up to 470 feet. He did not miss it at all. You have Ruff coming in clutch with a 2-run home run, as Anthony Desclafani was really good. He was 1 out away from a complete game, and then coming in for the final out, he has 10 saves, and I believe that Jake McGee has 16 saves. So between the two, they have 25 plus saves. Good for them. And the last but not least, in terms of the NL West division, we have Manny Machado going to the trees again. This one I can call a moonshot, and then he makes it 5-0 all by his lonesome. As you have Ronald Torreyes, I want to show this if you're a Phillies fan, just to give you something to cheer for, with an amazing web gem over at shortstop. Then you have Eric Hosmer coming in with the bases loaded while it was raining. He makes it rain even more. And then Webster Rivas, I have never heard of him before, hits a 3-run ding-dong, and the Padres, yeah, they 10-run mercy rule the Phillies. All right, so I'm sure that you've all seen the title, and I'm not going to hold back any punches. Gerrit Cole and Aroldis Chapman have been buns since they have not been allowed to use Spider Tack, whether they were or were not. I know Gerrit Cole was for sure using it. I can pretty much promise you guys that, because Gerrit Cole, he had a 4.65 ERA in the month of June, and he needed this to bounce back, only he doesn't. So the Yankees, they answer back, and they go up by a score of 4-1, but then you have Tomas Nido, Brandon Nimmo, and then Francisco Lindor tying it up as Gerrit Cole was taken out of the game, and on his walk back to the dugout, Yankees fans were booing the man. They are getting sick and tired of him getting paid $324 million when they got bamboozled, because he might not be as good as $324 million deserves without the sticky stuff. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. Alonso, he ties up the ball game off of Aroldis Chapman as the Mets explode for a few runs, and they win by a score of 10-5. And I just want to note that Michael Kay, the announcer for the Yankees, he basically inferred that Chapman was using sticky stuff, and now he's not good anymore. So let's see if they can come back in game number 2 and get some of their dignity back. And they actually do that, because Gio Urshela and Aaron Judge, they seem like the only 2 Yankees that really care right now, because they are playing pathetic baseball as of late. So he hits a 2-run home run, which was a shot in the arm, and then Pete Alonso hits his 15th home run of the year. He raises his OPS plus to 128. But in my opinion, the player of the game is Chad Green. He comes in for a 1-2-3 6th inning, and then he throws an immaculate inning in the 7th. If you have no idea what that means, it was a doubleheader, so it was basically the 9th inning. They only go 7 innings in a doubleheader game. He threw 9 consecutive strikes to get every single hitter out. So first hitter, 1-2-3. Second hitter, 1-2-3. Every single pitch was a strike, and he finished it with 3 straight outs. That is what they call an immaculate inning. The Yankees, that they needed it. That was big time. And I say that because I think the Rays are about to be back in business. Even though Randall Grichuk hit a home run, and I thought maybe the Blue Jays were going to pop off for a few. Nope, that did not happen. The dude that was starting for the Blue Jays, I think his name is Robbie Ray, he was cruising, but then Franco on a 2nd home run of the season. He starts a rally for Tampa Bay, and then Austin Meadows comes in clutch with an RBI double, and Yarbrough, he was able to limit the Blue Jays to just 1 earned run, and I think 5 or 6 innings. And then the Jays bullpen, I mean, they're just not good whatsoever. Even with the addition of Adam Simmer, they need more help. So Tampa Bay is now 12 games over 500, and they're 4.5 games back of the Red Sox, and the Jays, they fall to 8.5 games back of first place. That's why I said that second win for the Yankees was big time, because if they keep on losing, they're going to have to be 30 games above 500 in the second half just to make the playoffs. At a very low-scoring game between the Red Sox and the A's, but look at this play from Elvis Andrus. He robs Kike Hernandez on the very first pitch of the game. Devers, of course, the RBI machine, he has a ground out in the 6th inning, but he drives in a run. And both starters, you have James Caprillion versus Nick Pivetta, they were sensational. Caprillion gives up 1 earned run on 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, and Pivetta, the exact same stat line, only he didn't allow a single run. And then Matt Barnes comes in for his 19th save and ends the ball game. He's going to be an all-star as well. Now, I thought that play from Elvis Andrus was pretty slick, but look at this one from Ernie Clement. Holy smokes, he makes one of my favorite web gems of the year from any Cleveland player. And then Chaz McCormick, who is this guy? A 2-run shot the other way in the 6th inning. He has 10 home runs and 32 RBIs as a rookie. No idea where he came from. You have Eddie Rosario and Cesar Hernandez tying up on solo shots, but then Cleveland gives the way. They hand a W to Houston on a silver platter. It was quite embarrassing, and I don't want to talk about it anymore, as the Astros, they sweep the Cleveland Are they even a baseball team right now? Kevin Newman went yard for the first run of the game for the Pirates, and then Wilmer Difo made a fantastic play in the second to avoid a rally starting for the Brewers, because the Brewers, the magic has been on their side. They're on an 11-game winning streak, so the Pirates, they're trying to stop that. Both starting pitchers, just like the Red Sox game, they were really good. Only 2 earned runs were allowed in 13 combined innings, but then Difo comes in clutch with the bat on an RBI double in the 6th inning, and you have Tyler Anderson going 7 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts, and you have Richard Rodriguez securing his 11th save of the year. Pittsburgh, they stopped that 11-game winning streak, but the Brewers are still 7 games ahead of anyone for first place. The Reds versus the Cubs, we have the Cubs scoring 2 in the first few innings, and Kyle Hendricks was really good. He only allowed 1 earned run in 6 innings, and then Jonathan India, unfortunately for Cubs fans, he got hit by a pitch to tie it up, and then Winker, he drove in the game-winning run, and Brad Brock, who has been really good ever since he was signed and picked up by the Cincinnati Reds, he comes in and combines with Amir Garrett to shut the door for a W. The Cubs have now lost 9 games in a row. They fall to 4th place. Akil, the bad man, I call him the Magic Man Badu. He secures his 13th stolen base of the season already, and then he scores on a Robbie Grossman ground out. You have Harold Castro driving in an RBI on a single, and then Akil, the Magic Man Badu, comes in huge yet again with 2 RBIs in the second. This was a hanging pitch. Lucas Giolito is not the same guy, apparently, without that sticky stuff. Soon enough, it is 6-2, and Lucas, Twitter was having a field day. The fact that he has not been very good ever since they banned the sticky stuff. So you guys have to let me know in the comment section down below. Is Lucas the real deal or not? I still think that he's going to be really good, but I guess only time will tell. It was a scary ending for Tigers fans as Abreu hit a 3-run home run off of all-star Gregory Soto, but then Cisnero comes in for a 1-pitch save, and they win the series. Yes, the Tigers won the series versus the White Sox after winning a series versus the Astros. And in the final 2 games from yesterday, we have the Twins beating the Kansas City Royals 6-2. Trevor Larnach drives in an RBI, and then Max Kepler turns on a pitch as Kenta Maeda was sensational, and he really needed this because a lot of people were saying, just like Lucas, Kenta is not the same guy without cheating. He goes 6 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts, and you have Polanco and Kirilloff both leaving the yard on some monster home runs, and then Larnach drives in yet another RBI. That is 17 RBIs and a 124 OPS plus in his first 40-ish games. That is pretty good. And then the Mariners, they beat the Rangers because Luis Torrens is a man on a mission. He has 4 home runs in his last 14 games. And then Shed Long Jr. hit this ball to space as Chris Flexen was really good yet again. He goes 6 innings, only allows 1 earned run. And then the bullpen, they only allowed 1 hit the final 3 innings. And the Mariners, they're 45-40, 5 games above 500. And they don't even have Jared Kelenic or Julio Rodriguez. I'm telling you, the Mariners, they're on to something. All right, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate if you watched all the way until the end. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because we have a ton of fun content coming to you guys in the next few weeks. Also, be sure to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you're going to the All-Star Game, Home Run Derby, or anything like that. Thank you for watching and enjoy this day in MLB history.
Strikes reaching. That's 3,000 for Roger Clemens, who strikes out the side. Roger Clemens becomes the 11th Major League pitcher to hit the 3,000 mark.